Welcome back, track fans global. We're here again to look at another hot one. This time, part 2 of our Road to Tokyo series. In this episode, we'll be talking about National Junior and Senior Championships, the woman section. Who has already qualified, who performed well at the track meet, who is sitting pretty as they get ready for the September World Championship in the land of the rising sun. So with that being said, stay with me for this short video, right, as we look at these things. Let's go. Taking this victory was Tina Clayton, running 10.81 seconds ahead of Shericka Jackson, 10.88 seconds, and the legend herself, Shelly Ann Fraser-Pryce, who ran 10.91 seconds. So those three qualify to represent Jamaica over there in Japan in the 100 meters. But it was a very intriguing field. Before the start of the championship, at least 6 or 7 ladies, right, were running good, right, and among 5 or so of them, right, it was not so clear who would finish 1, 2, and 3. But when the dust was settled, Shelly Ann Fraser-Pryce make another team. She have never missed a team from 2008 to 2025. Right, this is really her last dance because the national championship was her last track meet on Jamaican soil. So according to the report, she's gonna hang up her spikes at the end of the World Championships. So it's a good team that Jamaica is sending over there to represent us in the 100 meters, and they can actually do some damage. I expect all 3 of them to make it to the 100 meters final, but only time will tell. Let's move fast. The women's 100 meter hurdles, that was another hot one, right? And we see Megan Tapper winning that final in 12.34 seconds, personal best. Akira Nugent was second, 12.41 seconds, and Amai Brown was third, 12.67 seconds. Now this event is very interesting because Jamaica will field 4 athletes in the 100 meter hurdles for women, because Megan Tapper, Akira Nugent, and Amai Brown all 3 qualify via the championship, but Danielle Williams is our reigning world champion, and so she get a bye. So in the final of the 100 meter hurdles over there in Japan, Jamaica can possibly field 4 athletes, 3 of which have potential to win that 100 meter hurdles final. Very interesting stuff. Since the national championship, Megan Tapper have went on to tie her personal best of 12.34 in a Diamond League event into a minus 1 point something headwind. So this tells me that the national record, right, for Jamaica might be under threat. And Megan Tapper might be the one to break that record. Now, we're still moving fast, and we're gonna go down to the women's 200 meter finals. The women's 200 meter final, Ashanti Moore won it, running 22.66 seconds ahead of Gabrielle Matthews, 22.80 seconds, and Ronisha McGregor, 22.86 seconds. Now in the national championship, none of the women aforementioned make the qualifying time for the 200 meters. But since then, Ashanti Moore has went on to run 22.40 in a track meet over in Austria, and 3 days later, she went on to run 22.42 seconds, both of which is under the World Championship qualifier. And so Ashanti Moore has now qualified for the World Championship over there in Tokyo, Japan, She's gonna run it alongside our world champion Sharika Jackson, the second fastest 200-meter runner of all times, running 21.41 seconds, thus 0.007 of the world record of Florence Griffith Joyner of 21.34. Right, so it's a good look for Ashanti Moore, and I expect her to improve based on the consistency I'm seeing from her. I expect her to improve down to at least a 22.2. That would be good, right? Making a world championship final also, that would be exceptional. Just the icing on the cake, right? To top off the kind of season that she has been having. The woman 400 meters was won by Nikisha Price, and that's how I expected it to go. Dejanay Oakley was second, 50.08 seconds, and Stacey Ann Williams was third, 50.08 seconds. Now, all three of these athletes prior to the championship had run the qualifying time for the World Championship. Now, Dejanay Oakley, right, was the fastest Jamaican. She had run 49.6 earlier in the NCAA Championship. Nikisha Price had run 50.04 earlier. But given the fact that Dejanay Oakley was a collegiate athlete who has been competing from at least January, I expected that Nikisha Price would have beaten her, and it goes true to form. So all three of these ladies, right, run exceptional well, and I expect them to run good in the World Championship. Possibly all three of them can make it to the final, which will not be an easy task. But it's looking good still for the Jamaican 4x4. The 400-meter hurdles for women, Rochelle Clayton take the victory running 53.81 seconds. If you asked me earlier in the season who would win, I would say Anjanette Knight would win, because Anjanette Knight had been the most consistent on the Diamond League, winning even Diamond League event. Right, Cheyenne Salmon was third, 54.65 seconds. So the top three right there is the top three we expect to beat it, right? The women's 400-meter hurdles is in a special place. Finally, in the World Championship this year, right, the woman will have a legitimate shot of winning. Only that they just have to get through Finke Ball, because Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, she has opted out of the 400-meter hurdles and instead is focusing right on the 400-meter and breaking the American record, and possibly we can see something special in that open 400 meters. The women's 800 meters, right, was won by Kellyanne Beckford. She ran 2 minutes, 0.23 seconds to finish ahead of Natalia Gould-Toppin and Gabrielle Wilkinson. Now, I expected Natalia Gould to win the 800 meters, right? She is the kind of athlete that run right 147s and 148s consistently. She is the national record holder, and so I did not expect Kellyanne Beckford to win. But something interesting has been happening to Natalia Gould this year. Earlier this year, when she opened up her Diamond League campaign, she ran 158, and then she ran 159, and now she ran 2 minutes. So I don't know if there is an injury problem with Natalia Gould, something going on behind the scene, right? She's not getting to train the way she would, but I hope that she will be ready for the World Championship, because she's one of those major contenders who we expect to make it to the 800-meter finals over there and to possibly challenge for a medal. Adele Tracy won the woman 1500 meters, 4 minutes 17.80 seconds. And Adele Tracy had represented Jamaica on the biggest stage already, right? She has run 1500 meters right at the 4-minute barrier. So she's a special talent. I can't say for certain whether or not she has run the qualifying mark for the World Championship this year yet, but I know that she is a special talent that has done well for Jamaica in time past. Now, in the women's discus, Samantha Hall take the victory, 60.94 meters. Shade Lawrence was second, 55.22 meters, and Abigail Martin was third, 53.54 meters. Akila Smith has been dominant all season long in the women's long jump, and she jumped 6.81 meters. Now, that is just under the qualifying mark for the long jump world championship. 6.86 meters is the standard. Nia Robinson was second, 6.52 meters, and Michaela Linton was third. Some of these events, though the athletes don't necessarily get the qualifying mark, right, they might still have hope of making it to the World Championship based on World Championship quota. Because for each event, there's a quota of how many athletes to compete in each event. So if the quota is say 50 and 50 athletes don't jump over the 6.86 meters, then the rest of the athletes that did not make the 6.86 meters will be filled in based on their world ranking and their distances throughout the season. So Akila Smith still have the chance of qualifying for the World Championship, though she hasn't jumped 6.86 meters as yet. In the women's shot put, it is the same storyline as it has been for years now. Danielle Thomas-Dodd was represented Jamaica even in the Olympic last year. She was the one that took the victory, throwing 18.33 meters. She has already qualified for the World Championships, and so this win was more like a practice run for her, right? And she will hope to represent Jamaica well over there in the women's shot put. Last but not least is the women's triple jump. In this event, we have a gamer, and by a gamer, I'm talking Shanika Ricketts. And when I say a gamer, I don't mean she plays games. I mean she's one who is at the top of the game. Right, she has won multiple competitions this year. Right, she is one of the top ranked triple jump female in the world right now. As a matter of fact, the competition this year has been between her and a Cuban athlete named Hernandez. Both of them has been trading blows and jumping the sort of marks that could possibly win a medal over there in the World Championship. So Shanika Ricketts is definitely a gold medal threat from Jamaica this year. Akila Smith jumped 14.44 meters, right? That is shy of the World Championship qualifier. So Akila Smith still hasn't achieved the World Championship qualifier in the triple jump, right? But Akila Smith, she is definitely one for the future. She has been jumping well in both the long jump and the triple jump. And in the future, we look forward to see her doing some great things. That's where we're going to conclude this review of the national championship. Jamaica so far has now qualified all of their relay teams to the World Championships, right? And we know for sure that these relay teams will do the business, especially the men's 4x1, very dangerous team, right? And the women's 4x4 is not looking too bad, right? So Jamaica is really set to do great things this year. From Track Funds Global, track and field from Jamaica to Pakistan. You all understand. I'm out.